Todd. We are live with Get Virtual Now, talking about the magical Carson Valley.
My gosh, I know you told me we're live, but my screen lit up with all these little notifications, so I kind of knew. I was relaxed until that happened, and now I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, everyone's watching us. What's going on?
The whole world is watching.
So we're talking about Carson Valley today, huh? This
Yes.
is our new Get Virtual feature where we're trying to pass the positive, talk about all the great things going on around the area in this new reality. So Carson Valley, they've got a lot of great things going on. So this should be a pretty interesting show. Now, normally we try to talk about some things that we might have had happen personally in this last week are positive. So what'd you have happen today? What'd you want to highlight?
Well, I think one of the really great things about this platform that we're understanding is that we can use it as a tool to amplify community voices and those local stories that are inspiring and worth sharing. And so we'll have a special guest on in just a moment with Douglas County, Nevada, and I happen to see a post on their Facebook page which kind of just collected all of the kind things that the community is doing in terms of messaging. Obviously, we want to promote stay at home, to be able to promote social distancing, but there are little things that you can do, whether it be a note in your car window or in your home, or even, the casinos are putting up signs that says, take care, have fun, return soon. There's this cute little bear that it says, we'll bear through this, right? Those seem like small and simple gestures, but in the grand scheme of things, if we're all doing that and we're all supporting each other through that messaging, it'll just make this process a whole lot easier. This journey, to actually get through it.
I mean, that's a big step. You look at those casinos. I mean, when was the last time you were at a casino tell you not to come in? That's a big step, and there's really stuff going on. I wanted to share this neat thing I've got going on this week. So, the new reality we're in, my daughter, she's in preschool. And here she is doing a Zoom meeting with her classmates. These are 3 or 4-year-olds, and you had 20 of them on there, and the teachers tried to sing some songs with them. Here she is dancing.
Oh, look at that.
Pretty excited, having a great time. And I've had people say, well, how was it not just chaos? No, it was. Oh, my gosh, look at that. Now I'm trying to figure out what I've got going on here.
I like the hand sanitizer in the background. I think that's, we all have that visual in the background. It's either Lysol wipes, hand sanitizer. I don't think it's toilet paper because we're all on limited supply for that. But
yeah, exactly. Also my daughter, I guess the lucky thing for us, my daughter is a little bit special needs. She's medically fragile. So we were well stocked in hand sanitizer and all that stuff long before this all started. So, we kind of understand how that goes.
No, absolutely. And then at this point in time, we'll transition into kind of introducing some of our guests who are also still passing on that positive message, that the special things that they're doing internally, both from a personal standpoint, business standpoint, and county standpoint, to keep that positive messaging alive. So our first guest, we're going to have Melissa, and she should be joining us momentarily. Let's see
if I can unmute her. She's there now. Melissa, I think you're a little bit sideways, so you might have to move your phone around again.
Okay, I'll try that one again. It seems like every time
Oh, there you are. Oh, hey, okay. There we are. Yay!
Hi.
I was getting dizzy. The blood was flowing to my head.
Sorry.
This is clearly a high-end production.
Right. We're all just making it work, right? Yeah.
So, Melissa, tell the people who you are and who you're with, and what's going on in your new reality.
Sure. I'm Melissa Blosser. I'm the Public Information Officer for Douglas County. That's my technical title. And so we normally, my office is in charge of pushing out all the information via all the Douglas County channels through social media and various other media channels that we have. And so recently, when COVID chaos hit, we started supporting Carson City Health and Human Services, who is our managing health authority. So we sent up what is called a Joint Information Center, a JIC. It's our acronym. And so we're supporting their efforts in communication to the public at this time. So that's the 4 quad counties in the region, and Douglas County is included in that.
So obviously not a lot of information, going around and filtering. Pretty
No.
job.
Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out, and kicking it.
So, first of all, I love the name COVID chaos. I actually have not heard that term, and I think that's a great one to kind of describe the new reality we're in, right? Things are changing all the time. Now, we've seen some different posts going on. You got things like, Not Canceled or something like that? Is that a program you guys are running down there?
That is. So we kind of, we've got a lot of health messaging, and of course the stay at home. And I know, thank you so much for featuring our signs. We've had just this great community support. So what we kind of wanted to come up with something positive on the flip side. We're telling people, don't do this and don't do that and stay at home. Well, we kind of wanted to talk about, because life right now feels like it's canceled. All this disappointment, everybody's at home, and baseball games are canceled, events are canceled. What do we have to look forward to? So we started talking about, well, what's not canceled? What can we tell people to go and do? And so, guess what? Our community is not canceled. Our leadership is not canceled. We have quarantine with a view here in the beautiful valley and at the lake. So we kind of started having this conversation on social media and within our communication efforts to talk about what is not canceled and what we can actually do.
I think that's a super important message to get across, right? Because you think of these moments where we feel stuck, right? Quarantined and social distancing, and to kind of switch that perspective is very motivating in the simplest form.
Absolutely. We think it's really important during this time to put out, messages of hope and messages of kindness, community pride. We've been posting pictures of we had this little guy dressed in a or girl, I'm not sure, dressed in a penguin suit, an inflatable penguin suit on the side of the highway, just with a happy message and, signs and businesses, people supporting our local businesses and takeout, and just the community really coming together and showing through this time of hardship that our life is not canceled. Our community is not canceled. It's inconvenienced right now, but we're going to get through this. So we're trying to put out some, things that people can do, like our trails and activities that people can participate to get out of the house while still adhering to the CDC guidelines. We want to make sure that they're still adhering to that. But there are things that we can do while we're going through this difficult time.
That's a great point. We're very lucky here in Douglas County in that we have that opportunity to still maintain that social distancing, but we can still do things outside and stay well away from people and not risk the chances of spreading the COVID chaos, as we say. And I think as long as people use common sense, and I know we were talking at one point in time, you come to a trailhead and you want to go hiking, but you see people there, just wait in your car, let them go ahead. And then you can come in afterwards, maintain that distance, and wave, make sure you wave, and be friendly. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Kindness is not canceled.
Yes, that is very true. And, we're asking our viewers and our people that are on Facebook or any of the social media platforms to tell us about what's not canceled in your life. It could just be family, or maybe you're making a fort in your living room, whatever that looks like for you. We want to hear about it and keep that positivity going.
Awesome. Great. Love hearing that stuff. I think we'll bring in our second panelist, and we'll let you guys say hi really quickly before we get rid of you, Melissa. Not to be rude or anything. And
all right.
And speaking of forts, yes, I've had several forts have been built within my living room.
See? Yeah.
Forts and dance parties is what Todd's life has become. But on that note, we'll go ahead and introduce Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. She is with the Carson Valley Community Food Closet to kind of give us some inspiring highlights on just the community collaboration with supporting their nonprofit effort.
Now, before you get started, Sarah, say goodbye to Melissa over there. Bye, Melissa.
Bye, Sarah. Bye, guys.
All right. So, Sarah, tell us what's going on with what you guys are doing.
A very smooth transition, Todd. Well done.
So we're our community's version of a food bank. We provide supplemental food to people in need. And when the COVID chaos hit, we had to hit the ground running and make some changes to our operation. So we've taken a step back in that prior to the situation, we were providing client choice, which is the progressive way to provide food by offering options and letting people say what they do or don't want. And so we've taken a step back from that and said, you know what, we're going to go backwards a little bit, do some pre-packing, and then we're going to bring it out to your car. So people don't have to come and they don't have to wait in the lobby and trying to help with that social distancing. And that's actually been great. It's running really smooth. Our recipients love it. In fact, a handful of them has said, oh, we like this a lot better. They like to sit in their car and have us come to them. So it's working really well.
So in this situation, obviously you're in a new reality and things have changed. Have your needs changed? I mean, obviously you always had a certain amount of need there, but what has changed and what can people do to help?
Sure. So we're definitely seeing new people trickle in. We had some calls from some of the local businesses that were closing, the big casinos, and they were asking what kind of information can you give us so that we can provide our employees during this time. And so that was great. We hurried up and made a bunch of materials and said, hey folks, here's how you can get food. Here's how we've made it easier for you to access food. So those people are starting to come in more often than obviously before. So the need is a little bit greater. We're still picking up 7 days a week. We're still trying to collect. But one of the things that's different is a lot of what we could glean from stores, donations has been pretty low. The best thing that's happened to us is that with the closing of some of the businesses, restaurants were forward thinking and thought, you know what am I going to do with this produce? What am I going to do with these dairy products? And they reached out and said, hey, we've got all this stuff. Can you take it? And so in a matter of like 3.5 days, we received over 11,000 pounds of produce from Carson Valley Inn, Sharky's, Topaz Lodge, a handful of other restaurants. And so we were inundated. It was the best burden we could have hoped for. And, we had extra bags of produce for people. And additionally, we were able to put out to the community and say, hey, come down for the next 2 hours and you'll get a bag of produce. So that was a really good blessing in disguise, as you could say.
Yeah, I think I read on the Record Courier, which a big shout out to them for helping kind of sponsor and amplifying these community stories. Because I read in their article that I think Montbleu had donated over 7,000 pounds just with that alone. So that forward thinking is that collaboration is beautiful.
Exactly. Amazing people too, because it was employees and people that they knew who got in their pickups, went up there, loaded up, and came down 7 truckloads. It was great.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the amazing stories we love hearing about and those things going on and stuff like that. So with the inundation of food, obviously that's kind of probably dwindling out a little bit. Where are you guys at now? It's like volunteers, money. What do you guys need?
So for us, it's the same thing. It's day to day. So for volunteers, we've got an amazing pool of volunteers, almost nearly 100 of them, who are sticking with us and come in every day ready to work. So we are taking names basically of people who are interested in coming in to help. We don't know what to expect day to day or in the next few weeks. So if we need to call on new folks to come down and help us, we've got this list to turn to. And the response has been really great for that. We could use supplies. Definitely we're in the need for sanitizer and gloves and masks and things like that to help protect our volunteers. We can still take in food donations. So just a reminder to everyone, we can do refrigerated, frozen, and shelf-stable products. And funds. And the nice thing about donating funds, I think oftentimes people don't think about it, is we have really good purchasing power. So when I can turn to the Food Bank Network and go to the Food Bank of Northern Nevada and get the items that I need through them at no cost or little cost, or turn to some of the local stores and try to procure the items that I need when I need them. That's really what works best for us and helps us make sure that we're providing a really good, nutritious variety to our folks.
Awesome. Well, that's great to hear. Now, I know we were talking earlier about different casinos and how they've kind of helped. I'm going to keep you on here too, Sarah, so you can say hi to our next guest. How was that for the transition, Megan? Was that better? Our next guest is
So much better. So much better.
pretty infamous throughout the area. Let's see if we can get him on here. Trying to promote him. We got Bill Henderson from CVI right down there in Carson. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Megan.
Bill,
So, Sarah, we're going to say goodbye to you.
thank you.
And
Thank you so much, Sarah.
What's going on? All right. See you soon.
And just real quick, for those individuals who are looking to donate funds and or volunteer time to the Carson Valley Community Food Closet, real quick, Sarah, what's your website?
It's thefoodcloset.org. And there's a tab that says COVID-19, and you can click that tab there and find all the information you need.
Thank you so much to you and your staff and those individuals who are also on the front lines volunteering.
Thank you for helping us spread that message.
Awesome.
Bill Henderson, your Carson Valley Inn Casino was also a part of those extraordinary efforts. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's great what the whole community is doing. In the case of the food closet, you know, we're very tied into them every year in December for the big community food drive. And what happened is we, like the rest of the casinos and some of the restaurants that didn't stay open, we had a lot of dairy products and we had a lot of produce that we could no longer use because it would eventually expire. So long before that got to be a problem, we called over and told them we were coming. We gathered everything from Sharky's, everything from the Carson Valley Inn, and sent quite a few pallets of food over to the food closet. As Sarah said, I think she was overwhelmed by how much came in all at once over a period of, you know, basically a day. I'm also going to say that Sarah was helpful in that we have a special page for our employees on our website that's password protected that we can communicate with them regularly during this shutdown in our case. And she was very helpful in getting some of the information on her site translated to Spanish, so some of our Spanish-speaking employees could have better access to the information. I appreciate what she did.
And that's a great point, Bill. I've noticed that a lot throughout the area. There's a lot of, you know, bilingual, so the English and the Spanish, but, you know, because we have a huge Hispanic population throughout this area, and that's really important to have. Now, I know we were talking earlier and talking about, you know, this COVID chaos and unprecedented times. You know, you obviously CVI has been very instrumental in a lot of stuff. I mean, you guys were very helpful during the flood of '97. Obviously, it probably doesn't compare to this, but, you know.
No comparison.
I figured as much, but, you know, so what are you guys doing? What, you know, where are we at? You know, what's your thoughts or your takes on this situation?
Okay, well, you know, let's start with where we are, which is basically by the governor's order, which, you know, we don't disagree with. The casino is closed and the restaurants are closed. Now, I suppose we could have done takeout, but a lot of the local restaurants are doing that. Hopefully they're doing very well at it. Our owner decided the best thing to do with our food resources was to devote it to the employees. So we have a program whereby every employee they want to can come by every night. We have a family meal that they can pick up. Feeds about 4 people, you know, a nice hot meal. And, you know, most of them do it at some point, not everybody every night, because sometimes for some families it's enough for more than one night. And so that's keeping a lot of our food service people busy providing that. We're also taking this time, and we have a couple of small areas that are open, but we're taking the time while the casino's closed and the restaurant is closed to do a lot of I don't want to say deferred maintenance, but catching up on a lot of very, very deep and specialized cleaning and really getting the place polished up. Also, there's a lot of technology that we have to deal with that's got to be updated regularly. And it's very difficult to do when you're up and running. You can't be changing things that affect the slots while the slots are running. And you can't be, like, for example, we're putting a whole new keying system in all the hotel rooms. It takes up even to another notch of technology. And it's so much easier to do that if the entire place is closed, but we never wished for that. We never wished for it.
Right.
And here we have it. So that's what's going on, behind the scenes, and there's quite a bit of that going on now. We're doing that with every bit of caution to social distancing, which hampers the progress because you can't have two guys standing right next to each other lifting something because it just doesn't work. We've got to keep the separation. And we're very, very respectful to people that either can't participate or don't want to. They have somebody at home they're worried about. Whatever the situation, we're not forcing anybody to do anything. And so far, it's worked out really well.
Amazing. So I heard the story about the family meals, and it's funny. I've been you see different memes and posts about during a time of crisis, really pay attention to your employers and how they take care of you. And CVI has always been known as sort of a very great employer and a family friendly and all the stuff. And just doing that just speaks volume to, I might be looking for a job after all this is done then. So I hope you're saving one for me,
Let me tell you about something interesting that Mike Pegram's an extraordinary person, and didn't come on to do this, but I'm here and you brought up the subject. But when he got up in front of 70 or 80 of his staff members, this is prior to an all-employee meeting, right after we closed down. And I will tell you that even though there were 70 or 80 of us, we were in a room that would have held 300, and we were well spaced out. When he told us how he was going to be handling this during the 30-day shutdown, it brought me to tears. That's how incredible the guy is, but that's not why we're here. I just had to say that because it's a straight from my heart feeling.
Well, a lot of times those people, they get lost in the shuffle. So it's glad that we got that news out. So that's great to hear. I love that. Very positive.
And our employees have been very appreciative. And we learn about a lot of it through social media because we all of a sudden we'll see something on there. Wow, this person was really touched. And it's an interesting thing about, I was talking about these employee meals. Well, some nights we've prepared more meals than get used. So we called the sheriff's office and said, send somebody over and figure out who needs them. And then we'd start seeing these posts on Facebook about somebody got these meals delivered by, Deputy so-and-so said they came from the Carson Valley Inn. And we didn't even know what they were doing. They just took care of it for us. And they've spread a lot of goodwill in the community. And, some nights we have it to do and some nights we don't. But it's just amazing, the trickle-down effect. But more importantly, I'll be very honest, this shutdown has a drastic effect on businesses like us. And I can't even imagine what it's going to cause for the casinos at the lake and in Las Vegas, but I know it's affecting us drastically.
No one has those answers. And I think that's part of, that paralyzation with all of us, right? We don't have those answers. We're living day by day, hour by hour, making those adjustments to very, very quick changes. But I think hearing that type of information of just those small things and acts of kindness and support that you can do for other individuals that end up being a complete and total surprise will keep our community integrated and will end up stronger when this is over together as a whole versus being separate apart.
I believe that, Megan. I think you hit it right on the head. And, if we don't believe that, we've given up, and I can't give up.
Yep, absolutely. Right. Well, thank you so much, Bill. We really appreciate you sharing that story with us. It sounds like Carson Valley is doing some really, really incredible things, and it is definitely a showcase for how other communities are hopefully collaborating together as well.
Very nice to talk to you, Megan, and to you, Todd, and thank you both for all you're doing to keep the communications channels open.
All right.
No worries. Talk to you later, Bill.
Bye. Thank you, Bill.
All right. So.
Wow.
I know some of those stories are just crazy, aren't they? I mean, it's
just really powerful.
I mean, that just shows how, what a great community we live in. Think about those Douglas County sheriffs. And, you don't think about it. We live in a small community. We're very lucky there. I know several Douglas County sheriffs personally, not for whatever reason you're thinking. But, that those guys, they know the community well enough to know where to take those meals to, help out those people that need it. So that's great stuff. This is a great show. I've learned a lot of stuff myself, and hopefully everyone else did. So Megan.
Yeah.
So if people are interested in finding this, where can they see it? What's going on? All
Yeah,
that.
so if you have community stories, ideas, or things that you want to share, email us at reno@planmygetaway.com, subject line get virtual. And we really want to, again, amplify those community stories and encourage community connectedness. And of course, we wouldn't be able to get the word out had it not be for our wonderful program partners, including Visit Carson Valley, Carson Valley Visitors Chamber of Commerce, as well as the Record Courier. You know, by being able to cross-post this Get Virtual show on your platforms, we're able to spread the messaging, spread the word. So that's super important. You know, I encourage you to keep watching the show. We're going to try and do one Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday each week, going live at 3:30. Tomorrow's will be more of a Reno-based segment, talking about Feed Our Heroes, Brown's Bakery, a local business, and then a shout out from Mayor Hillary Sheevy. So, you know, we've got a lot in the works for really inspiring those community conversations. But, you know, we can't thank Carson Valley enough for being able to engage with us on this. And again, look forward for weeks to come as well.
No worries. And these will also be then put into videos, and we'll have them up on our website and areas like that. So if you miss an episode, you can always view it then. It will also always be on our Facebook page. So yeah, trying to get that word out. You know, definitely if you see someone and you want to help, let them know. You know, we're doing everything we can, and we know that everyone else out there doing everything they can. So, you know, we're all in this together. So
We are. It's for some beautiful photos, kind of like peaceful mindfulness. If you're looking for that, be sure to visit Carson Valley for their armchair adventures. So you can check out the beautiful Carson Valley views right from your living room.
Yeah, they got virtual experience Carson Valley. You know what? There's a great website. It's visitcarsonvalley.org/how to virtually experience Carson Valley until you can get here for the real thing. What a great...
Oh, that's literally the URL.
That's the URL. I love it. And it summarizes the whole thing. You know, I think if you look at that, when you get done with this, one of your first trips is going to be to Carson Valley.
Absolutely. Stay well, stay healthy, stay hopeful. Thanks for watching.